Hello and Love and Light. That was Sunrise by Thunderbeat, an amazing shaman, author, creative being, and musician. That's from her Ancient Sun CD. And I thought I would play a bit of that since it is a new beginning. It's always a new beginning every day. I'm Michele Meiche, and you have tuned into or surfed into Awakenings, which is part of the Converging Flow, which is come via the harmonic convergence. Awakenings hosts dialogues and interviews with spiritual teachers, healers, conscious experts, visionaries, awakened leaders, authors, and conscious beings of all walks of life. It's the place to connect and share your experience of awakening and how you're bringing this awakened state in your everyday lives. Awakenings reflects the bridging point between science and spirituality. I'm Michele Meiche, your host, fellow traveler, spiritual being, trying to live as humanly as possible. That's my new motto. How can I live with more of a humanitarian effort and energy? If you'd like to call in to listen, which I do see some listeners already on the switchboard, you can call in at 347-539-5122. We love feedback here. We love questions. This is really your program. You are co-creating this, as well as each and every one of us together. So please call in and participate. We will open the lines a little bit later, but if you do have a bit of feedback or question that's rather pressing, or you're just feeling that flow, just press the number 1 button on your phone, and on the switchboard I'll see a little hand that comes up that says that you have a question. If you have a question in the chat, which is also known as a sacred space of empowerment, thanks to Tammy and Drita and all the other beings that converge here, the chat room has been renamed in an apropos way, I would say. If you do have a question there, if you type in caps or use the question icon, that helps me see that there's a question or a comment. Again, because we're co-creating this, on one level it's already done, already deemed. We're just coming together on this level, this density, this dimension, physically, to anchor what we're doing into the material plane of form. So you're really co-creating this with us, so we really do mean it when we say we love your comments, your feedback. And the Sacred Space of Empowerment is, the people there are wonderful, so if you have questions or need healing, you can just put that forth in the chat room, and they're really good about that. You can also ask them how you register, sign up if you want to respond. You're able to listen in the chat, but if you'd like to comment or respond or have a dialogue going, which makes this connecting even more enriching, there's just a quick registration process on Blog Talk Radio. I think it's just your email. It's very, very quick and very, very painless, and they don't take a lot of information. Those that are you connecting with, let's see, somebody's via Twitter, if you can connect at Awakenings Tweet to find out about what's going on. It's another way to connect in. Many ways to connect in. So I welcome you all that are on the lines listening and in the Sacred Space of Empowerment, as well as those that are listening later in the archives and via iTunes and the other podcast stations. Welcome, as there is only one time, which is now. You're with us right here, right now, and so we welcome you also. Today we have with us, we're actually very blessed to have with us Risa D'Angeles, astrologer and esoterist, and we will be talking with her shortly and diving into some wonderful information and learnings today. And before we do, we're going to do the soul invocation with Risa. Hello, Risa.
Hi, Michele, and hello, everyone. Shall we begin into the soul invocation now?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone, let us see a 5-pointed star above our heads. It's about 6 inches above. This is our soul. Our soul is created by spirit to be a bridge between spirit and matter. And because spirit is such a great fire, it needs something to step it down, and the soul is what steps it down. And the soul contains love and unity and wisdom and intelligence. So when we offer our soul, offer our personality to the soul, then we become directed by it. And there is a soul invocation in which we can do this. So let us together say, I am the soul.
I am the soul.
I am light,
light divine.
I am love. I am light. I am will. I am fixed design. And when we say that, we create a six-pointed star. The bottom triangle is the personality, and the upper triangle is the soul. And then the soul calls the personality, and the personality offers itself to the soul. And then there is another triangle above the six-pointed star, and that's the monadic triangle. That's the will of God. Let us now rise up even from the soul into the will of God, stepping into the triangle, and we say together, the will also am I. The will also am I.
The will also am I.
And now let us take that six-pointed star and the monadic triangle and place it upon the earth. And let us see it as a great symbol of light. It calls humanity. And we see all of humanity lifting up its personality to the soul and its little will to the greater will. And then we prepare through this meditation, this invocation, for the full moon of Aries and the next two festivals that are coming about. Tomorrow is the day in which God disperses a great love upon humanity. And now it's your turn, Michele.
Okay. And since we are love and light, we can bring our awareness to that heart center, that heart-lung area, the heart chakra, the anahata center, the seat of the soul, as we breathe in, anchoring the light, and as we breathe out, radiating the love that we are, the love that is expressing through us, as us. Let us radiate our love to all those in humankind, all those in the animal kingdom, all those in the mineral kingdom, all those of love, light, and wisdom. Let them receive our love. Let us radiate our love to all those that are in a process of healing so that they receive the love that is reflected in the truth of who they are. Breathing in, anchoring the love, light, and wisdom. Breathing out, radiating that love. Feel that love radiating out. And as you breathe in, feel that love being received back to you in a recognition that you are this love, this light, and this wisdom. Wonderful.
And to follow up on this, the beautiful words of Michele, there's something called the integration mantra that we've done before on this show, and it's quite simple and beautiful. And every morning when our group comes together across the country and we do our meditations, we place a cross of light within the earth. And we look above and below and side by side, and we include everyone within this integration mantra. And in fact, we say this integration mantra for humanity until humanity can say it for itself. And let us say it together. I'll say each line and you can follow.
Okay.
I am one with my group brothers and sisters.
I am one with my group brothers and sisters.
And all that I have is theirs.
And all that I have is theirs.
May the love which is in my soul pour forth to them.
May the love which is in my soul pour forth to all of them.
May the strength which is in me lift and aid them.
May the strength that is in me lift and aid them.
May the thoughts which my soul creates reach and encourage them.
May the thoughts that my soul creates reach out and encourage them.
And that's the integration mantra.
I can feel it. I can feel the triangles of light, the Merkaba coming closer together, that little will and divine will, the soul, personality, well, that higher self coming. Beautiful. Thank you, Risa.
It's all through intention. And so the Tibetan gives us the words and the mantras and the information, and then we step into the intention of this. and it's the intention that allows this to occur.
Mm.
So it's really good for us to be aware of what are our intentions and what are our aspirations.
And how does one become more aware of that, Risa?
Observation.
Okay.
First by hearing me say it,
mm-hmm.
and then through observation every day of what are my intentions concerning this, or what are my aspirations, or what do I hope to do, think, feel, what are my intentions for the day. In the morning before we rise up, it is good to review the day. What are my intentions today? We are in preparation now for 3 very big spring festivals, the Aries Libra full moon, the Taurus Scorpio full moon, and the Gemini Sagittarius full moon. And the new group of world servers worldwide, all the esotericists, they prepare for these 3 particular days. And in the mornings they wake up and say, how do I prepare now? What are my intentions to stand with the Christ in the hierarchy and bring the love and the intelligence and the will to humanity? And sometimes we don't know what to do, but we say, I have the intention to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that opens the door.
So it really is that drawing that higher consciousness in, or allowing it to come through with our intention, keeping our intention there. Now, Risa, you a couple wonderful things that you said before we went live, and I want to bring back to this. And I was sharing with you how I'm very sensitive to subtle energy, and I can literally feel what's happening before it happenings, whether it's personal, individual, or collective, or stock market. I'm feeling this, but I was expressing to you, sharing with you that I didn't know what it is. And the way that I was describing the energy, you said, well, let me look at today's energy.
Mm-hmm.
And
the
chart for today, and it through astrology described exactly what I was feeling. So could you touch on that today a little bit, today's energy?
Well, first, every single day we look at the charts to see what the energies are doing, and each one of these signs, constellations, sends to humanity specific energy for evolutionary growth. And the planets pass through these signs, and they change every month. So Michele had been saying that she feels past, present, future. She feels a pulling back and yet a moving forward. And so I went to the charts, and I see that there's Mars. Our activity is in Pisces. And then I see that Sun and Mercury and Venus are in Aries. Pisces ends a cycle, and Aries begins a cycle. So we have this back and forth of ending and beginning, and ending and beginning, and they're happening simultaneously. And right in the middle, today's moon is in Libra. And the Libra always tries to achieve a balance, always tries to bring right human relations forth. So it has to balance the two, so it balances the ending of Pisces, which is one of the signs of death, and also the beginnings of Aries, also a sign of death. These are 2 signs that are very, very important. There are 3 signs of death, which are the signs of Scorpio, Aries, Scorpio, and Pisces. So we have the ending of something, which allows to bring forth the beginning of something, Pisces and Aries. And tomorrow we have the Aries full moon, or the Aries Libra full moon, one of the first of 3 festivals. So there is an attempt to bring forth a very spiritual process upon the planet so that love can pour down. And so often we must always have great tension before something appears. And there's the tension of the ending and beginning, and the moon in Libra attempting to balance that. So you being very sensitive, you can understand it through feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you being very sensitive, you feel it. And then if one knows astrology, they're able to go right to the chart of the day and see what is occurring today, and then give words and understanding to the feelings.
Yes, I was amazed when you were able to do that. I mean, it is exactly what I was feeling. That's why I love the science of astrology so much, because it really does bring into a tangible form what is actually happening on the subtle plane.
Also, I want to tell you the other tension that's occurring. During a full moon time, the Earth is in the middle of the sun and the moon. And then there's that pull and tension between the two. So we have sun in Aries and moon in Libra. Those are the opposites. And we know that when we have a full moon time, which is a timing mechanism, that the entire Earth is bathed with the light of the sun. So right now we're in preparation. A great tension is occurring upon the planet, and we're in preparation. And you can feel that tension.
Yes.
And that tension is where creativity comes forth. So if we think of tension as as a line at the end of one line, one is the sun and one is the moon. And so there's one line, and then we create a triangle. That point at the top of the triangle is the point of harmony between the two tension points. That's what occurs at the full moons.
At the full moon, is that the tension, or are we coming into harmony?
The tension is created, building towards the full moon. Until then, at the full moon time, there's a huge release of energy onto the planet. So the tension builds prior, and then there's a release at the exact moment of the full moon. And in our work, we are asked, as the New Group of World Servers, to be in meditation during that time of release, to be aware of the building energies, to hold them as if we are a chalice, and then to receive the energies that are released and then disperse them to humanity. That's one of the main situations, the main events occurring tomorrow on Thursday, among others.
Now, one of the things, leading up to all this, and we talked about this before, Risa, the other day actually, that we were going to share the festival that's happening right now, the Aries Solar Festival that's coming up. How is that tying in with this energy that we're feeling of like that tension that you're talking about to create something new, that kind of push-pull that's going on, the Aries-Pisces, I guess, push-pull that's happening? Or is that tying into that?
Well, every there's a lot of push-pulls happening actually on different levels. Every month we have this tension point of the sun and the moon in opposition with the earth at the center. So there's always a tension point. But when we come to the new spiritual year, which begins at the spring equinox, and then we have the beginning of the first of 3 spring festivals, Aries is a very potent force, releasing the love onto the planet. In the Taurus festival, which is the Buddha Wesak festival, what's released upon the planet is the will of God. And then at the Gemini festival, what's released upon the planet is the intelligence of God. So we have tomorrow actually, but the building of the tension points now. We have the preparatory field of the love of God pouring upon the planet. And why is that important? I have mentioned before on our radio shows, but often, we have to hear this information 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. We are living, the solar system that we're living in right now is the second solar system. We lived in a previous solar system. But in each solar system, there's 3 of them, 3 solar systems one we've lived in, one we're living in now, and then there's going to be another that we'll live in. And each of these solar systems has a task. This solar system is for us to develop love. So tomorrow, when the Aries festival, the very fiery Aries festival occurs, God releases love upon the planet. And that is what the task is for us to develop. So it's a very potent and powerful, purposeful full moon.
So it really is, and that's why we did that, the releasing of more love.
Right.
You have said that love is that underlying...
Love underlies all the happenings of the time. It's a very important quote. It comes from a prayer or a mantra given to us by the Tibetan. Love underlies the happenings of the time, which means at the core of every event, even if it looks terrible and horrendous. Even those of us who might have gotten a very grave disease, even though we see people die, at the core is a great love. And if we understand that, even in the face of, on the outer level, it looks horrible. On the inner level, there's a great love. There's a great sacrifice. And so love underlies the happenings of the time, even our financial crisis.
It's all about love and allowing more love.
Underlies it. Love underlies it, because that is, love is given to us because this is the solar system of love. The Christ who came from Sirius and entered into the body of Jesus for 3 years, he came from Sirius, which is the solar system of love, where love is given to us tomorrow during our Aries solar festival. Love underlies the happenings of the time. Love.
And we're to be
getting that. It's good to be able to, what? Go on, Michele.
Well, it seems that we're opening more to that. It's interesting you talk about Sirius, which is the dog star, and the animal beings in the form of dogs have proliferated. We have them more in our life now to show us that love.
That's right. They're devoted to us.
They're very devoted. They teach that devotion, that love, that being very, very vulnerable, but very trusting of God, of the universe, of the plan. They're very trusting of the plan. And so it seems that that's being more enacted right now, as there is more of that energy from Sirius on our planet.
Yes, there is great love happening, and at certain particular points of the year, Sirius pours its energy of love down onto the planet. And yes, one of the ways that humanity learns love is because through the animal kingdom is so devoted to us. They wait for us.
Yeah.
And we love them so deeply, then love within us develops.
Yes.
It's quite a beautiful system.
It's amazing the healing that's been taking place with the animal beings, with human beings being rehabilitated or healings facilitated just by being in the place of animal beings. And, of course, many people may know this, that a lot of times the animal beings they're absorbers, especially dogs and cats. They absorb your human being issues, conditions, illnesses, absolutely.
Our emotional field.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
So are we receiving more impulses, Risa, from that constellation, Sirius?
Every year we receive more and more. Every year the energies are greater and greater and greater and greater. So it's not that we're just receiving more from Sirius. Every year we step up a little bit more in the reception of the energies from the planets and the stars.
So we're stepping up the reception. That's what's happening. Because it's there.
Well,
is that
what happened? We're forced into the next. They bring in more the energies and the planets, the energies from the planets and the stars, send down more, and we step up more. It's a reciprocal situation. And also the new group of world servers are also responsible, because the new group of world servers stand between humanity and the hierarchy and the Christ. And the new group of world servers every day radiates upon the planet goodwill. And when humanity finally receives this goodwill, then they raise themselves up, and then they're more open to the energies that they can receive from the stars and the planets. It's quite a system. It's like a scientific system.
It seems.
And then we have specific times during the month and during the year when the energies are even so potent. And so what all humanity needs is education about when these times are. And then humanity can say, oh, I know what's happening today or tomorrow or next week, and I am going to place myself in the light of that information, and I am going to help. So those times are the solstices and the equinoxes and the new and full moon times. Those are the times when the earth is bathed in specific evolutionary lights. The foundation of all this is astrological and esoteric means. Astrological means what are the signs and planets involved, and the esoteric means the inner explanation of this. So when humanity is able to understand, or when humanity asks to understand this, when they say, what am I doing, or what do we do?
Just lost Risa. Okay, going to call right back. We need to have, let's put a little vibe out that we up-level the technology so that it can hold the vibrational frequency. Oh. We lost you for a second, Risa.
Yes, something happened, didn't it?
Yes. I was just
we're back.
We're back. And I said, let's put out a prayer that we update or up-level all technology to hold the more expanded vibrational frequency.
Yeah, sometimes the information can be so fiery it can knock things off.
That's been happening.
We've noticed that.
That's been happening more and more. Now, one thing I wanted to kind of dive into is the time of Atlantis, the Atlantean time, to the present. If you can go into that a bit, how we got to where we are, I guess, in essence.
Okay, I'm going to tell a big story then, okay?
Oh, good. Okay, I love it. I love stories.
For those of you who are really listening and really interested, you should probably take some notes.
Yes.
Because I know that when I gave this talk the other day, people were frantically taking notes and frantically asking questions. And the information goes fast, and again, it's very fiery and it's very interesting. And so you might want to take notes for later use or later questions. So first of all, when we first were on this planet, we lived in Lemuria, which is the Pacific Ocean. And that was our motherland. And sometime there, 21 million years ago, the Sagittarian lords gave us the first seeds of the mind, and we were too young. We couldn't absorb it. But those seeds stayed in there. So 18 million years ago, the Venus lords came down to Earth, Sanat Kumara, the Ancient of Days, and he is actually in the Bible, and his three Kumaras, or three Buddhas, they came to Earth from Venus, and they activated those seeds. And our little protoplasmic being self that we were in that motherland, those seeds took hold. And we started the process of the development of the mind. So we lived in Lemuria for many, many thousands and thousands and thousands of years and we developed in, if anybody, whoever has been to Hawaii, the beautiful trees, it's so balmy and so beautiful there. That was our nursery. And many of us long to go back there. We can feel it in that warmth of that air, how beautiful it is in Hawaii. Well, we were in the nursery for a certain amount of time, and then the nursery time was over. And so the next level of our lifetime was in the Atlantic Ocean, and that was Atlantis. There were many islands in the Atlantic Ocean. So I want to say that what we were developing in Lemuria was our physical bodies with the touch of the mind. What we were developing in the Atlantean times was our emotional bodies. But neither of these times did we have a fully developed mind or mental units. We were just developing physical and then emotional. Well, when we were living on the planet in Lemuria and in Atlantis, we had our great teachers living on the planet with us. During the Atlantean time, there came a time when our teachers had to leave the planet. They had given us great amounts of information. Now, though we were not mental beings, we were emotional beings, we were still capable of, on a very low level of mentalness, but on a very high level of emotionalness, understand those instructions. Well, there was an emergency in heaven. The teachers had to leave, and they felt, and they were assured that they had given us enough information and that we could rather plod on without them. Well, they had given us very extremely important information. Some of the information was about how to create and destroy. And so what happened on the planet was the forces of darkness took hold of some of the minds of humanity and started to misuse the information that we were given until there was so much darkness and so much manipulation on the planet due to the forces of darkness taking hold of the emotional field of the Atlanteans that the hierarchy and God decided that they needed to destroy the planet. And so they were going to destroy it through water, which they did. But prior to destroying the planet, they said there must be some people, some humans down there who are not overtaken by the forces of darkness. Let us see if we can find them. And when they looked down, they could see that there were certain people who had a dim light within them. And this dim light was pulsating. It was not obscured by the darkness. So they decided that they would take these people out of Atlantis into the Gobi region valley, which was not a desert, but it was a beautiful valley. And they would take them out of Atlantis, take them up to the Gobi region. That's in the high reaches of China, by the way.
It is?
And remake humanity. This is the story of Noah's Ark. The Noah's Ark was actually that the great teachers and the creators of our planet and of our humanity took us out of Atlantis and protected us in the Gobi Valley and remade humanity. And so the rest of the planet was destroyed by water. Water is emotions. We were destroyed by our misuse of emotions. So it was the water the water came and destroyed the rest of the planet. Most of the planet. It was underwater except for certain parts. One was the Gobi region. Now, for many thousands of years, humanity was remade by what we call the Manu. The Manu is it's a great being who creates civilization. Manu and the Mahakoan, they create civilizations and they recreate humanity. When they felt that humanity was recreated enough and had enough spiritual endeavor within them and understood, they released humanity out of the Gobi Valley, and humanity went down into the Middle East. The most important person that we know historically was Abraham. And Abraham is the father of the Jewish people. And he went down to Ur with his family, Ur. It's kind of Turkey, Iran, Iraq, that Middle East area. So the newly made people, and that is why the Jews were called the chosen people. Chosen because out of the Atlantean swirl of darkness, these people had a light within them. They were taken up to the Gobi region valley and remade and then released back down into the earth after the waters had gone away. Okay, so I want everybody to think also, not just that the Jews over there and what am I, but we were all part of this. We were all part of this. Okay, so think about this great new humanity reared by the gods, sent out into the earth, and they had to learn how to be on the planet again. So eventually, Abraham and his people were taken to Egypt. Egypt, which symbolizes being in form and matter. For thousands of years, the Jewish people lived in Egypt, and they were really the pharaohs a long time ago were trained in the mystery schools of Egypt, and the pharaohs loved the Jews. But eventually, over time, as humanity entered more and more into form and matter, because remember, we're spirits who have gradually come into form and matter, the mystery school teachings were forgotten, and the pharaohs eventually enslaved the Jews. And they were enslaved for thousands of years. Now, I'm going to eventually begin, I'm going to use some astrology here. Atlantis ended probably during the age of Leo. Those of you who are taking notes, let's do some astrological years notes here. So the age of Leo is the opposite of the age now. Each age is 2,500 years long. So we had the age of Leo, and then we had the age of Cancer. Then we had the age of Gemini. Then we had the age of Taurus. Then we had the age of Aries. Then we had the age of Pisces. And now we're in the age of Aquarius. 2,500 years per age. So so the Atlantis floods kind of ebbed, and the Atlantis floods happened during age of Leo and Cancer. During the age of Gemini, we learned how to write. During the age of Taurus, we started a farm. The Egyptians were the Jewish people were in Egypt during the age of Taurus. Let's think about the symbols of Taurus. Gold, the golden calf.
A lot to do with form, isn't it? Like,
of course it is.
Monetary
exactly.
form, a monetary
right.
system came in with Egypt, great buildings, edifices,
right.
symbols.
So the Jewish
right?
people had to learn about form and matter, and so here they were in Egypt during the age of form and matter. Okay, but then the age of and they were enslaved. The Jewish people also had to learn what it was like to be enslaved.
Well, and they were enslaved. Metaphysically and they were enslaved to form, right? Overly focused on form.
No. That wasn't the original reason that they were in the age of Taurus.
Okay.
But we will come to that. Everybody has to be in form and matter, and everybody has to learn. And they were enslaved by the Egyptian people. They had to learn what it was like to be enslaved. We all have to learn everything. So they were a kingly and princely people, but they had to learn what it was like to be in form and matter and how to be enslaved. We have to be enslaved always and break free. Every one of us. Okay, so the time came for the Taurus age of understanding form and matter and earth and gold, and the Taurus age ended. And Moses, who was the son of a Jewish mother, who was raised by the pharaohs, was finally told that he was Jewish, much to his surprise. And he was told by God that he had to lead his people out of Egypt and into the desert and and into Israel. Now, okay, Moses was then the father of the people, taking them out of Egypt. This was the symbol of the end of the Taurus age and the beginning of the Aries age. So Moses finally realized that he had to do that with his people. And he went to the Pharaoh and he said to the Pharaoh, I have to take my people out of Egypt. And the Pharaoh, who used the Egyptian people as slaves, did not want to lose that currency. So the Pharaoh said, "You will never leave Egypt." Moses went back to God and said, "I can't take my people out. The Pharaoh won't let me." And God said, "I will send plagues." I have to stop right now.
Tell me. Okay.
I'm going to say something.
Okay.
Why I'm on the radio today is because tomorrow is a very important day. Tomorrow is the day in which the Aries festival of love pouring on the planet occurs. It's the full moon. But tomorrow is the first day of Passover, which is the Jewish festival. Tomorrow is also Holy Thursday, the day that Christ institutes the Last Supper in the Eucharist. And tomorrow is also the day of the meditation, the new group of world servers says, for the reappearance of the Christ. When the ancient festival of Judaism and Christian Catholic and the New World religion and the Aries festival and the Taurus and the New and Full Moon festivals are part of the New World religion, when all the religions come together, those three, there is a united effort of humanity uplifting itself. Now, usually these festivals aren't done on the same day, so it's kind of sporadic, and one group does it this day and one group does it that day. But tomorrow we have Jewish, Catholic, and new group of world servers working together. So the reason I'm giving this story is to show the development of the religions through the ages, which were developmental stages of humanity. And we're going to start with the Jewish Passover and end with tomorrow. So when I gave this last lecture, I said to everybody listening, tell me what Passover means, because that's happening. Tonight's the first night of Passover. Tomorrow's the first day of Passover. Tell me what the Passover is. And a lot of people couldn't tell me. So that's why I'm telling this story.
And you mentioned we'll get back to the story from Atlantis to the present, the Atlantean times to the present, but the New World religion is, you mentioned that.
The New World religion, because the one thing that humanity has that's the same all over the world is the sky. Everyone sees the full moon, everyone sees the sun, everybody sees the stars. Everybody sees the planets. It's the same every place all over the world. This is our great book in the sky, and it is also the source of every single energy and every force, every form of love and light and will and intelligence. That's the source, and it falls down to earth. And so we call that astrology. And when we know the different planets and the rhythms and what's pouring down upon the planet Earth, we can say, I want to work with you. Okay, I know that love's falling down tomorrow. I'm going to absorb it and radiate it. And it happens all over the world. So the New World religion is about the knowledge of this, these greater energies falling to Earth.
So it's the self-knowledge. So we have more knowledge that know thyself, perhaps?
It helps us know thyself.
Helps us know thyself, okay.
Yes, it helps us know thyself because it helps us observe. So when we look out at something, we know what we're looking at. That's what astrology allows us to have. We know it's a very vast system. But so tomorrow we look out on the planet and we know love is pouring down upon the planet. How can I be part of that? Because within each one of us, we all aspire to be part of something greater than ourselves. How can I be part of this love on the planet? First, I want to receive it. Thank God I know about it. Now I'm going to radiate it. This is how we evolve. So the New World religion tells humanity, these are the days something's happening. This is where something is coming from. It's coming from Sirius. Love comes from Sirius. God's releasing it. Tomorrow that's happening. this is the new world religion, meaning humanity knows what's happening and where it's coming from. Humanity stands together as a group, opens its arms and heart and mind and receives the energy and radiates it to humanity at specific times and dates. So the New World religion is based on the astrological knowledge, the new and full moons, and a new level of approach to God. The approach is no longer, give me, help me, but I know what's happening. I'm standing here and I'm receiving it. I'm working with a new group of world servers. I'm radiating to humanity. So the new world religion is based upon a new approach to God and service to each other.
So the new world religion is based on a new approach to God,
right,
and being in service to each other.
Right.
I love it.
And
right use of will.
Education. Right use of will. You're right.
Yeah.
Because we only can have the right use of will when we have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? I have this knowledge. I am using my willingness to be part of this. So the New World religion has got specific information. What's happening in the sky? What is pouring upon the planet? When is it occurring? What does it mean? How can we serve? It's a whole different reality. That's the New World religion. And it's the next developmental stage for humanity, because Aquarius is the sign of serving humanity through loving.
I want to clear something up, too, in the chat, Risa, because I'm watching it. Some people saying that religion has to do with God, and I want people to know, if you go back to the derivation of religion, it comes from the Latin religare, to relegate, meaning a routine or a system or a belief. So for many of us, that has the concept of God, whatever that means to you, but a religion does not have to have the old paradigm or the old interpretation of God or deities. It's really, religion comes from faith, belief, a creed, a system of thought. Brushing your teeth is part of your religion, actually. If you look at it in the strictest sense of the word, from where the derivation or the etymology of the word comes from, it's to relegate. It comes from religare. So
so are you saying that in the chat room, people are saying religion has to do with God?
Yes, somebody said yes, that it has to do.
So what is wrong with that?
No, there isn't anything, but it doesn't.
No, I mean for that person.
Oh.
Why is that person saying it? How I work is I ask questions. So what does that mean?
They're just asking it as a question. There wasn't charge on it. They were just asking. But we do have a question here for you, Risa. Does the New World religion correspond to the New World Order, and what is that?
Yeah, the New World Order, the new laws and principles under the Aquarian Age. That's the New World Order. The New World Order is functioning along, and this has to do with the different ages again. The New World Order means we are going to function under new laws and principles. Yeah. The Aquarian Age has new laws and principles. The Piscean Age had laws and principles. The Aries Age had laws and principles. The Taurus Age had laws and principles. And in the story, I was going to go through them. So,
because I want to get back to the story uninterrupted, but I do want to interject something, because I know, and I can feel it energetically already.
Good, go ahead.
When people mention New World Order, New World religion, but especially New World Order, there is such charge.
Yes, I know what the charge is.
Yes.
What the charge is because Hitler took that language. He studied everything I'm teaching, and he used that language. He turned around the wheel of life, the Ray 7 symbol, wheel of life, which is Tibetan, and he brought darkness into the world. So he reversed the life principle, and he brought darkness into the world and used all the esoteric terms. And one of them was the New World religion.
Yes.
In which the whole world's going to be taken over by one idea and one thought.
Yes. Now,
and that's the charge.
Yeah, and that's the charge. So also I want to say to White Light in the chat was saying it always has negative connotation. If I may share with you just a snippet what I've received from the Oversouls and the spiritual hierarchy is that to understand this concept and to live this concept, you cannot have the mind of the old paradigm. There is such fear that New World Order means that we are being controlled by a certain group of individuals. And what I will share with you is that, as Risa's saying, that did come, we're encoded with that memory from the time of Hitler and other times where we thought we were being enslaved or controlled. But if we're recognizing and waking up to the truth of who we are, that we are God or consciousness made manifest, then there doesn't have to be this enslavement, that we have the answer within. And we are that answer with the question and with the answer. So when someone is telling you or groups are saying that there's something to fear in this New World Order, then that's putting you in the victim stance and carrying out an old belief system or paradigm of something happening to you. It's that victim code that's being decoded, the victim abuse coding that's being decoded now. You see a lot about the code, the God code, the divine matrix code, the Da Vinci code. It's because on a cellular level there's been memory of situations that happened in the past, but you have to remember we're not repeating the past. This is a new time, and we already are in a new world order in a sense that we are global, universal, multidimensional citizens living simultaneously. So there is going to have to be, going forward, that's where the emotional clearing or clearing the emotional body comes in, so that we don't react with these charges. Like people hearing the word God, all of a sudden react. You've got to ask yourself, why am I reacting out of fear or limitation or contracting my energy from a simple word that somebody's saying? I mean, you can disagree, that's okay. But you've got to ask yourself, how come I'm living so in such a limited consciousness that a word is affecting me a certain way? Can I go beyond the word into the larger vision or the deeper vision or the expanded consciousness? Can I go into the vibration of what Risa had said earlier, that love is the underlying of all the happenings?
Love underlies the happenings.
Yes, love underlies the happenings, all happenings. And what did you say earlier about being of service, and that this recognition that we are in service, that we are, in a sense, I interpret it as God or aspects of God or emanations of God, and we're here in service. That to me is such a broader understanding.
Michele, I want to say to the person who asked the question about the New World Order and even God,
yes,
I want to say why I ask questions to people. Tell me what those words mean for you.
Yeah.
I want to say that we must ask those questions because there is the force. The forces of darkness are very well and alive on the planet, and having appropriated and used our monetary system and also our language. So what we must do is, you're right, ask, why am I upset about these words? The New World Order has been misused completely. And so we have to find out, what are the true esoteric words? What do they mean? And the word God, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And so I want to say, I honor everybody who questions all these words because it's their way of gaining new knowledge.
And it's a way of clearing emotionally, right? If you ask,
that's right.
If you stop, that's what our expanded consciousness, right, Risa, is about. We got to stop. I do it all the time. If I'm triggered by something, I go, whoa, wait a minute. What is this little person, what's happening here, or this word? I love what you say, Risa. Ask, what are the true esoteric meaning of the words? Let's ask that. Let's not get caught up in what was hijacked, the misuse of words, or that was hijacked.
I want to say, many times people don't know that this was, many people don't know that the New World Order, that language, they don't know that this was appropriated by the forces of darkness. So that's why I always ask questions. What do you mean by that? What is your upsetness? Let's talk about it. And I want to say that humanity today is somewhat lost. They don't really know what deity means or what God means.
Right.
They don't know what the New World Order means. They don't know. Our education has not given them what they need. And humanity is asking great questions. So that's why I'm trying to give this information.
No, I appreciate it. I so appreciate it. It's so needed right now, and at this juncture that we're at, this choice point, the crossroads, as there's more discipleship, more discipline in the path, we need to clear up, right? We need to clear up this misinformation, this untruth.
And so many of humanity today are lost, and they don't really know how to contact God. They don't know who God is. They think God is, they reject God. And they also don't know who God or deity is. And humanity is waiting for a new revelation and a new approach. And they're seeking the path to God. And why I wanted to give this story today was to show that we are on this path. And here is what we did before. Here's the foundation. And here's what we're doing in the future. So, shall I go back to the story?
Yes, please.
Okay. And so each one of us is part of this story. And what is embedded within the story is reincarnation. We've been through all of these different segments. And so the Jewish people, the chosen people, chosen out of Atlantis and retrained, were taken to Egypt to learn about form and matter. And then Moses took them out, and he had a rod of power. A rod of power is what's used during our initiations, and we each go through an initiation. And he parted the Red Sea, and he helped the Israelites, or the Jewish people, go into the desert. For 40 years, they were in the desert, so that there would be 40 years separated between them of their remembrance of being enslaved, 40 years to cleanse and clear from enslavement and darkness. Now, during those 40 years, Moses went up to the mountain, and he went and got the 10 Commandments. Now, leaving Egypt meant leaving the age of Taurus. When they were in the desert, it was the transition time between the age of Taurus and Aries. Each age has different tasks. Each age is one step higher than the age before. The tasks of the previous age are still important, but a new task is given. So the task given to the Aries age was the 10 Commandments. However, Moses was gone a long time up that mountain, and his people were worried, and they couldn't contact him because there was a fire between them and that mountain. They couldn't go up the mountain and find out where he was. He's gone a long time, and when they felt abandoned, and so they went back to what was important to them and what they knew. They gathered all the gold, and they created a golden calf, which was part of the age of Aries, Taurus, which is gold and matter and earth, things of the earth. And they had a great big sexual orgy, and they ate and they had sex. And in the middle of this, Moses came down, and he said, "What are you doing? I told you, just wait. I told you never to go back to the previous age. Don't go back to the previous religion. It's over. You are out of form and matter. You don't need this." That's a very important thing to understand, that the Jewish people, or you and I, often when we enter new realities, we step back into the old reality and summon it all forth, but it's inappropriate. And the Jewish people did that, and the race spirit, who was their god, was so angry, he said, "I'm destroying these people." And Moses said, "Please give them another chance." So the race spirit said, "Fine." And so then Moses gave the people the 10 Commandments, and those were the laws of the Aries age. So eventually, after 40 years of being in the desert, the Israelites, or the Jewish people, entered into Israel and entered into the Aries age, and they lived in the Aries age in Israel for 2,500 years and developed their Torah, or the Old Testament, which is in our Bible. One of the teachings was that a Messiah would come. And so, at the end of the Aries age, a young woman called Mary, who was part of the Jewish religion, but a part of what is called the reclusive Jewish religion. They were Essenes. They lived in caves. She married a man called Joseph, and she became pregnant. And this is the very end of the Aries age. And she brought forth a child called Jesus. Jesus was Jewish. When Jesus was 30 years old, standing at the River Jordan, his cousin, John the Baptist, baptized him. And at that moment, the spirit from Sirius, called the Christ, entered into the body of Jesus. And both Jesus and Christ were in the body of Jesus. Christ was in the body of Jesus for 3 years. This is how the Pisces age began, and this is how the Christian Catholic religion began, because we entered into another age called Pisces. Mm-hmm. Now, the Ten Commandments.
Now, what was
let me finish. Okay. Just a moment. The Ten Commandments were the rules and laws of the Aries age, and Christ gave the rules and laws of the Piscean age, which are love one another. Follow the Ten Commandments, but now you must love one another. And love one another as I have loved you, which means I'm dying for you. And I am absorbing all of the things and the distortions on the planet. I want you to love one another. Now, when we enter now into this Aquarian age, the law are the new laws and principles, and I haven't said what they are yet. What was your question?
Or what the Piscean age was bringing?
The Piscean age, excellent. Now, in the Taurus age, they learned about form and matter and gold and being quite lusty and food. And in the Aries age, they learned how to travel around and develop communities and live together and actually fight a lot. They fought a lot, and to be wanderers. You know, Aries initiates a lot of things, and there's a lot of different realities, and it's very fiery, and Mars rules it, and there were a lot of tribal fights.
And we do have a question online, too. I'm going to get to you, 702-491. I'll get to you as soon as Risa completes her thought.
The Pisces was to the churches and religions were developed in the Pisces age because they had to pull all that fire of Aries into some sort of upliftment. So this wild rebelliousness of the Aries age turned into this religious, hopeful, visionary age of Pisces. If you put a Pisces and a Taurus side by side, a Pisces and an Aries side by side, the Aries is ready to go out there and fight battles, and the Pisces enters the monastery. You see the different energies?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So in Pisces, the religions were created and the churches were created so that humanity would have hope and vision and a place to go. And in the Aquarian age, what's going to be created is communities creating a new culture and civilization. So what was the question?
Okay, that's perfect. I just want to get to, wanted you to get to the thought. Hello, 702-491. You're on live with Awakenings and Risa D'Angeles. Did you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, my name's Ed. How you doing?
Hi, your name is, pardon me? I couldn't hear.
It's Ed, capital E and a little bit of E. Ed.
Ed. Oh, hi, Ed. Hi, Ed. You're on the air with Risa.
Yeah, I got a question because I'm a Gemini, and that always scares me because people say since I'm a Gemini, they say I'm like two different people, and I don't understand. What do they mean?
You are like two different people because you know two sides of every issue. But it's not something to be scared of. It's just to tell the people. Just tell them you're right. I know two sides of every issue.
I know, but then they give me all
that right?
Well, I try to know everything about some things, because if I don't know nothing, I ain't going to know something. You know, and I tell them, I say,
Gemini.
They make me upset and cry about it sometimes.
Geminis know a lot about a lot of things, and Gemini is always trying to bring information to humanity. So you're always searching for the information.
Is there something that I should be an expert at since I'm a Gemini, or no?
Loving others, seeing the polarities and bringing them together and loving it.
When I try, like I got 5 boys, but I'm not with none of their moms, and all their moms say I'm a bad person. I don't know what to say about it, and I try. I give her money, tell her, I'll take her out to dinner or whatever. They just say that I'm just mean. And I'm like, well, I don't try to be mean. I try to just listen to what you got to say. And then they got me all upset every time.
Many people don't understand Geminis.
I don't, and I'm one of them, I guess. How can I not understand myself?
Well, that's the great mystery. You're your own mystery. You're your own book. My perception is see both sides of you and have compassion for both sides of you. The part that has the wisdom and is aware that you're seeing both parts, and the part perhaps that's not understanding.
But not only am I Gemini, but I'm left-handed and right-handed.
So you're a true Gemini, aren't you?
I know.
You see both. You can do both sides.
When I kick a kickball, I can kick with my left foot and my right foot. I do everything with both stuff. Everything's the same.
So you're ambidextrous.
I don't know what that means,
Michele?
but
that's great. That's great. Well, meaning you can use both, both the left and the right. So that's a perfect integration. I'm going to give you a little self-growth, fun homework assignment. Take a week, and I want you to just enjoy both parts of you, all parts. Enjoy the left part of you, the right part of you, the part that understands you, the part that doesn't understand you. Just celebrate.
My right hand, though, I don't got my pinky finger on my right hand no more, because 2 years ago, we at Christmas time, one of my sons bought one of them smoothie machines over at Walmart, and I got my finger jammed in it and cut it clean off.
I want to give you
Hold on.
I want you to draw triangles. You draw triangles. On one side of the bottom line is your left hand, and the right side is your right hand. On the left side is your left leg. On the right side is your right leg. And on the right side at the bottom line is one part of you, and the other side is the other part of you. And then I want you to draw a triangle from those 2 points. And at the top of that triangle is love. And I want you to look at that symbol and draw it all the time, because that will integrate the 2 sides of you. Because esoterically, spiritually, you are supposed to love.
There you go. So as you love that, whichever one you want, or one each, and then call us back. Let us know how you're doing. Call us back, make another show, okay? And let us know. That's right.
All over my walls of my house.
All right.
All over my house.
All over, wherever you want to.
Make it your art forms.
There you go. I love that. Make it your art form. I'm just going to check in and see. I
want to say, Michele, no more phone calls and no more personal questions.
Okay, let's see. All right. You want to finish with the... we have someone that's been waiting on a long time. Let's see. Are you just listening? 561-218?
No, I have a question about Pisces.
I'm not taking any personal questions.
Not personal questions. We're connecting on a soul level right now. So if you
let me tell you, everybody, why I don't take personal questions. Because we work with the group. We work with the whole group. And if one person calls and asks a question about themselves, then we're focusing on one person. But there's this whole group that's attempting to get information. So I never do any personal questions.
Okay.
So everybody who is seeking to have personal questions, I won't be
answering them.
Yeah, it relates
to the group. If you 813-931, you're on Awakenings.
Hello. How are you ladies doing
Hello.
today?
Wonderful.
Right,
how are you doing?
I'm excellent now. I've ran into your show. I've actually I've been trying to get in touch with my third eye for so long, and it seems like it's kind of I'm on a self mission, you know, and I ask so many questions, and people want to close their ears to me, like I'm talking stupid or something. You know, like when like a couple of questions I asked into the room earlier, and I got an honest answer. You know, I'm on a self mission of levitation, and I believe, you know, that we as people can do it. And I'm just really trying to, you know, not really looking for the out of body experience. I mean, literally how to use your entire brain to raise your whole physical. But I mean, listening to your show, I mean, I'm not really looking for that answer. I mean, you guys are, you ladies are covering so many different topics that I'm just sitting back reading, you know, listening to you guys like an open book, and she's trying to read and understand.
That's wonderful.
So I just wanted to call up. I'm also a BTR host, and I do, you know, a different show. But this is, and I click into a lot of shows to get learning. But this is one show that I just favored, and you ladies are doing an excellent job. I'm feeling a lot of energy, and I appreciate everything that you all are discussing, and actually having being brave enough to actually, you know, share these type of stories and words and actually get in touch, you know, with the true inner self. And a lot of people find that hard to, you know, share with everybody else, or think that, you know, they're going to get, you know, reprimanded for doing that. But I mean, a closed mouth can't get fed, and closed ears cannot learn.
Wow.
So that's what I'm here trying, you know, trying to instill upon myself. But I just want to, you know, really extend a thank you. I am still in the room, you know, communicating, just trying to sit back and learn. But you guys are absolutely at the top of my list.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you so much.
Yeah, most likely. Thank you for the love and the light. Because you shine, it's shining. It is definitely shining. All right, and I'm in the room. But I'm in the room. Yeah, I'm in the room. I just, you know, I just had to call in. It was something that's telling me you have to call in. So that's why I'm actually calling in. Yeah. Thank you, ladies. You are saved as a friend. You are a favorite. And I'm definitely in the room just, you know, just sharing dialogue.
All right. Thank you so much. Blessings
to you. Y'all have a blessed day. All right.
Such love you can feel. Such love there. 510-355, you're on Awakenings Live with Esoteric astrologer Risa D'Angeles.
Hi, Awakenings. It's Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Risa. Is it Risa or Risa?
Risa.
Risa. Sorry about that. Well, I just wanted to call and give some love and thank you for laying out this information in the format that you have. It has made my mind, it's put my mind at ease because, you know, we grapple with all of the little details and bits and pieces of where we've been and where we're going, especially as you took us through the ages and, you know, coming into the Aquarian age now. And it's opened up a lot and made a lot of sense for me as to why I've been doing the things I've been doing. I was the one who put in the chat room about my moon's in Aquarius, sextile my Uranus and Sagittarius, and feeling a compulsion to almost turn the river in a different direction, whether if it's just in my own life and how I'm utilizing my time and energy, and then the types of things I want to create, the way I'm absorbing my information and education, and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to thank you. And I didn't know tomorrow was such a huge day. I guess I've been feeling it all week, and I shared that with another friend of mine that tomorrow's, you know, we're going to do a little ceremony tomorrow. He's actually in New York. I'm in Berkeley. But it was for light and love and, you know, all the things that were...
Yes. Humanity senses something's going on. And the reason that esotericism and the astrology is given to humanity is to give them language and words as to, you are right, something's going on, and here is what it is, and here's how you can participate. And as humanity participates together within the different religions tomorrow, all of humanity becomes a group and becomes a chalice for the love. And then for those who cannot yet receive it, we are the ones who receive it and distribute it. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow.
This is wonderful.
Well, you were getting
absolutely wonderful.
You were see that synchronicity there? See
it
that amazing?
Truly is. You know, you think you're doing something all alone, and you're generating and constantly pulling down and in prayer and in meditation for that thing. And for me specifically, it has been the unconditional love. You know, I wrote a song, "You are infinite love in human form." You know, do the best you can with it. You know, spread it out. We've been, you know, confused as to, are manipulated into being limited by the flesh instead of enjoying it and being able to move the energy through it. And, you know, I haven't come in contact, or I am more so now these days. It's that attraction mechanism of attracting the people in our lives and magnetizing them toward us who have the same openness as you do. But I thought, oh, I'm just doing it. I'm in this one track. I'm pulling it all down. And then to stumble on something like this to confirm to me that it's not just me or the friends I've met in my close-knit circle. It's the world over that's channeling this energy.
And also, through what I'm hearing you're doing, you have become part of the new group of world servers. And that is a very important name for you to have an identification with, and each one of us who is attempting to serve in our lives.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you
so
very
much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Berkeley.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, New Orleans originally. I've been on the top of the mountain for a few years here, so. But yeah, from wherever I am, the love still emanates.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. We did call at the top of the program, and for the love, and definitely that we are receiving that.
People are responding to it, and they've already been in it, and now we've articulated it, and now they're saying, oh, I'm part of that too. I'm part of that too.
So people are responding to the love.
So I wanted to say, so this whole week is the Passion Week of Christ, and so the Jewish people are participating in their festival of Passover, remembering when they were released from bondage. And then the Catholic people are participating in what Christ brought to them in the Piscean age. And what he did on Holy Thursday, which is tomorrow, he asked his disciples to prepare for the Passover because Jesus was Jewish. And they went into an upper room. And that upper room means they entered into the mental plane, because the people of today are to develop the mind. And so when he was there with his disciples, he then said, this is my last supper with you. I am going to be crucified, which means I am going to absorb all the distortion and darkness of the planet since the beginning of time, and I am going to transmute it. I will be crucified and I will be killed, but I am going to rise again in 3 days. And that is exactly what the Christ did, and actually the Christ told us. When he told us about this is what occurs to us when we die. We slip out of the physical, and we are in a bardo region for 3 days, and then we enter into heaven. Tomorrow, the Christ instituted also the Eucharist, which means no more blood sacrifice of humans and of animals. Instead, I want you to drink bread and wine, which signifies my body and my blood. And the bread signifies matter, and the wine signifies spirit. And I want you to bring them together. Bring together bread and wine, or spirit and matter. And this is the new sacrifice. And that's what the Eucharist is in the Catholic Church.
The spirit and the matter.
Spirit and matter coming together. Spirit and matter. And so the Christ instituted the Eucharist, and then he went into the Garden of Gethsemane, and he rested on a rock. There's a very famous picture of him resting on the rock. And what that meant was he was bringing in the will of God into form and matter. And he didn't know what his task was. When he realized that he was to absorb all the distortions of humanity, he said to his Father, please take this cup away from me. I cannot do it. He asked his disciples to stay with him, and his disciples, 3 of them, could not stay awake because the energy was so intense. And if we look at all of this story, many times we can't stay awake in our daily life. It's too intense.
Yeah, you have to keep awake.
So the Christ absorbed the distortions. He had the help of Archangel Michael. And then he was taken away, betrayed by Judas, and then he was crucified. And on the 3rd day, after he went into the earth and transmuted and brought light to the beings of the earth, he ascended up. The stone was rolled away, and he was in his etheric body. These are the things that are going to occur to us when we die. And this crucifixion is what it is like for us as spirits, to be in spirit and to be in matter. All of the events of the Christ's life are what we go through. Once we understand it, we understand why he was here, what he showed us, what he anchored, and then we can say to ourselves, I'm going through the same thing that Christ is going through. We have an identification of sacrifice, and at the core of sacrifice is love. So that brings us back to this solar system, tomorrow, the love tomorrow, and why we suffer so much. This is the story of humanity on the earth plane. Mm-hmm. And now bringing us back to the New World religion. In our Aquarian age, the new laws and principles are unity and group emphasis, forming communities, understanding the divinity of our lives. Those are the new laws and principles of the Aquarian age. And then they are given to us, and we enact them in the new and full moon times. Because and so I wanted to, we're almost out of time.
And so I have one question. If
I'm accelerating this information.
I know. What happened to the physical body of the Christ? You know?
That's a good question. All of matter dies away. The Christ, the matter part of our bodies die away. They all die away. It goes back into the earth. The Christ appeared to Thomas and his disciples in his etheric body. And that's that light body around our body. And we will all appear in the etheric body after we die. But our physicalness goes back into the earth.
Yeah. So just at the last bit as we're winding down, Risa, what is our focus for this Aquarian age as we've moved out of the Piscean?
I have to change phones because this one phone's going out. Hold on.
Okay. Yes, I like
your phone now. I had this. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you have to speak up a little bit or hang up the other phone, I guess.
I hung up the other phone, and I'll help out. Phones are crazy these days. Okay, so what did you ask me?
Oh, just in the last minutes, what we have, the Aquarian age, what is our focus for that?
To form communities of like-minded people and to become servers together. We no longer are to work alone. We are to work together and understand that we are spirits in matter, and now it's time to gather together with like-minded people and form community and build the new culture and civilization based on service. That's what the Aquarian age is about.
Wonderful. That says it.
And it's based on the New World religion, too, which is about understanding the energies that fall to Earth at specific times. It's a whole new educational system.
We're re-educating. We're being re-educated and re-educating, and so we have those new forms. I feel that's why the hierarchy says new forms are needed. New forms to represent the expanded consciousness, expanded awareness, new systems of thought that represent the truth. And one of
it's the new education.
Yeah.
And in the new education, it's interesting. We have a school, and we hope to have a college at some point, and we also hope to have schools for children, where all of this information is incorporated into the curriculum of the schools for the children and the teenagers and the adults who go to college.
Now, Risa, in the last remaining minutes, I've been putting the your website URL in the chat room. The Nightlightnews.com.
Yeah.
Light Night News. And now, can they find out about the school there also?
Every week I have new information on the website, and we have our vision on our first page. Plus, we have the Great Invocation on that first page. And yes, they can always email me, and we can discuss it. But our vision is on the first page on what we want to create.
Okay. So again, for those that are listening, you can reach Risa D'Angeles at nightlightnews.com, and there's information, astrological as well as esoteric information, and information also on the school.
So we're going to end in a minute or so, is that right?
Yes.
So shall we say the Great Invocation together?
Yes.
This is the Great Invocation that I'm telling everybody. It's on the first page of our website. And this is the new prayer given to all of humanity. And the new group of world servers will be saying this together all around the world tonight at 8 o'clock and tomorrow morning at about 7:45, because that's when the full moon occurs at 7:56 West Coast time. And the new group of world servers will start forming their groups and meditating at 7:30 a.m. West Coast. So let's say the Great Invocation together and visualize the words as we say them. From the point of light.
From the point of light.
In the mind of God.
In the mind of God.
Let light stream forth.
Let light stream forth.
Into the minds of men.
Into the minds of men.
Let light descend on earth.
Let light descend on earth.
From the point of love.
From the point of love.
Within the heart of God.
Within the heart of God.
Let love stream forth.
Let love stream forth.
Into the hearts of men.
Into the hearts of men.
May Christ return to earth.
May Christ return to earth.
From the center.
From the center.
Where the will of God is known.
Where the will of God is known.
Let the purpose guide the little will of men.
May the purpose drive the hearts of men.
The purpose which the masters know and serve.
The purpose which the masters know and serve.
From the center which we call the race of men.
From the center which we call the race of men.
Let the plan of love and light work out.
Let the plan of love and light work out.
And may it seal the door where evil dwells.
And may it seal the door where evil dwells.
Let light and love and power.
Let light and love and power.
Restore the plan on earth.
Restore the plan on earth.
And so let it be.
And so let it be.
And help us to do our part.
And help us to do our part.
And that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Risa, for being with us. We really are blessed to have you sharing your insight, your wisdom, and your love and light.
Thank you, Michele, and thank you, everyone who was on the radio today.
Yes, thank you.
I love you.
Love you all, and thank you so much, everyone that was sharing your love, light, wisdom today. Wonderful connecting in the sacred space of Empowerment Room, also known as the chat room. Those of you that called in, so appreciate your sharing comments and feedback. And remember, you are that love, light, and wisdom, that it's all within you. This is part of the re-education, waking up to the truth of who you are. So go out and enjoy the day, and as always, keep the faith and shine your light and keep awake.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Peace and blessings. If you'd like to follow updates, you can tweet me on Twitter at Awakenings Tweet. Keep in touch. Enjoy the day. And remember, you are that which you have been seeking. A bit of Sunrise by Thunderbeat from the Ancient Sun CD. Vow to keep awake no matter what's going on. Remember, you are consciousness made manifest. Your love, light, and wisdom taking shape and form. Go out and shine your light. Go out and play. Just play. Keep awake.